Thomas Edison workout today.
Let's do this.
Galactic.
So we're here today at the great Ryan Hall for Rory Linkletter's workout. What's the workout today?
Yeah, so we're doing a little mile specific work. We're kind of in a track blitz. Rory's coming off of half marathon training, and we're getting ready for a big 3K this weekend. And so we need to get in a little bit of mile specific work on that speed. He's coming off of a mile plus pacing a 5K in the Dome last Friday. That went super well. So really excited to see what he can do on the track, but need to get in some work. Can't just like take it easy all week this week because he's just hopping into track work. So today we're doing warm up, drills, strides, and then 3 to 4 sets. I like to put ranges on things because I never know how he's gonna feel. So 3 to 4 based on how he's feeling. If he's feeling good, we'll do 4 sets. And we're gonna go 600, 400, 200, and we're gonna take 90 seconds after the 6. We're gonna take 60 seconds after the 4, and then 2 minutes and 30 seconds between sets. So really specific mile work. We're up here at 7,000 feet. It's cold today, as you can see. It's like 30 degrees out. So, we're going to make sure he's really warmed up, and doing mile specific stuff at altitude is a little bit more tricky. So that's why I have it broken up into sets and going from 6, 4, 2. So should be a good workout, should be tough. But we're gonna have some fun out there too. We always have fun in practice, so stoked on this one.
That warm up in the next person.
Are you actually?
I forgot my trainers in the car.
Oh my goodness.
I forgot my trainers. I'm on gloves.
Amateur hour.
Yeah, remember when you forgot your stuff, you had to go back? And we had to wait. We were playing soccer with volleyball.
Oh yeah. The worst is though when you forget your just your flats, and so then you gotta do the whole workout in your trainer.
Oh, that's the worst.
20 minutes. It's classic. 20 minutes, warm up, and cool down almost every time. So
a little backstory on how I came up with this workout. So there's this old school book, I think it was written in like 1920s or something like that. And it's about creativity and how to get creative with stuff, and like looking at like CEOs of companies and how they do things. They found that like people who endlessly chew on things, like they just can't, like they like just chewing on it until it's like just right, like they tend to do super well in business. So like that's very much my approach to training, is like I have a workout, I know we want to do mile specific stuff, but like what's the right thing for today for the athletes? So I'll just chew on it. Now combine that with a recent book that I read. It's called Why We Sleep, and I read the story about Thomas Edison. So he used to hold a steel ball in his hand and then be sitting down, and then he'd be like dozing off to sleep, and as he falls asleep he lets go of the ball falls on the ground, wakes him up, right? So there's this period neurologically when you're just about to doze off into sleep, when creativity is like at its peak, and it's like your brain's like working on the puzzle, chewing on things, you're chewing on it, so you got this puzzle going on, and then your brain, like, it's the perfect state for it to be able to realize it and be like, oh, that's it, that eureka moment. So Thomas Edison, I do the same thing where I'm like chewing on these guys' workout. This was like 2 nights ago. I was like, what's the right workout? I was thinking about it for a long time, all throughout the day, thinking like, what's the right thing? And then I was thinking this thought as I'm dozing off to sleep. And I'm in this like in-between state where it's like, I'm not asleep, but I'm going that direction, and then just like, bang, 6, 4, 2. And it's just like, oh, like that's it, And that's what I look for, like as a coach, is you chew on it until you find that thing that's like, oh, that's it. But then being able to be flexible when you're out there, because I don't know how Rory's gonna feel today necessarily. I have an idea of how I think he's gonna feel, but then being able to be like bamboo, bend but don't break, and adjust the workout according to how Rory's body's doing. But I thought that was super cool just for like creativity in general, to like chew on things in this state where you're just about to fall asleep, and then you get that like eureka aha moment. So that's something I've been kind of implementing in my coaching, especially on those workouts where it's just not feeling quite right. I'm like, that's like a little bit too much or a little bit too intense, or I need to tweak the volume, or it's just not feeling right, and it's like a gut feeling, and then just like chewing on it right when you're falling asleep, and then it hits you. So yeah, it's been kind of fun to play with creativity a little bit. That's a big part of coaching, in my opinion. It's like you got the science and you got the art, and then finding that sweet middle part where you're kind of combining the two. So Thomas Edison workout today.
What kind of paces is he going to be hitting?
So a little bit slower on the 6s. We're shooting for like 131s, and then on the 4s a little bit quicker. So as the interval is getting shorter, he's going a little bit quicker. So about 60 on the quarters, and then a little bit quicker, 29 on the 2s. Somewhere right in there, that range is kind of what we're going for today.
Spikes or flats?
Let's start off in flats for the first one
Set or two?
Yeah, depending on how you're looking.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd like to do like half and half.
Okay.
How are your legs feeling after the 407 mile this weekend?
You know, the legs feel fine, but I still get nervous to run this fast for these reps. Like, I definitely like get like similar to a pre-race jitter. Like, oh man, this is gonna be a real gut punch to start a workout with a 600 at mile pace. So yeah, feeling good, but who knows? You never really know until you're like halfway through the first rep. And even then, like, first rep can feel like crap, and then your body can finally let loose, and hopefully that's what'll happen today is, you know, as the sets go on, it actually comes easier rather than building fatigue. You're just kind of warming into it. So that's how I like to mentally prep myself for something like this, is like, you know it's gonna be hard, but you know, get into a rhythm, and then you'll just lock in and you'll survive.
How often do you do speed sessions?
Not very often. I haven't really been doing a ton of track stuff for the last several years. I joke that I've been in base training for 2.5 years, but I'm excited by like the mile and what I did this last weekend, and makes me want to just see what I can do on the track this upcoming week in the 3K. And if that goes well, it can really make us go back to the drawing board on the whole season in a lot of ways, but we'll see. Yeah, I mean, I would love to be good at multiple events. That's the idea, is like not be, you know, put in a box. Like, I'd love to be able to say like, yeah, I can run a Canadian record in the half marathon, and I'd like to, you know, make world teams maybe in the track. So that's kind of where I would like to be. I know that long term, my best events will be on the roads, but I don't want to neglect this side of the sport.
Now we're here at Caleb Webb. You ran, what did you run this weekend? 408?
Yeah, 408.
In the mile, which, what's that convert to at sea level?
Like a 359.
359?
Yeah.
What's next for you?
I got a big 3K up coming up this weekend in Louisville. Gonna head out there with Rory and see if we can go hit a world standard.
Are you and Rory kind of training partners right now, or?
Yeah. I mean, we're both training in Ryan Hall, and right now our events and training's kind of crossing over. So we've been linking up and getting some good workouts together, and it's been tough, but it's been great having such a strong marathon-based guy to work out with.
How long have you been at Flagstaff for now?
I think 4 months. 5 months, something like that. Yeah.
Where are you from originally?
Originally from Big Bear Lake, California, same small town as Ryan, and then went to college at the University of Portland. But yeah, so born and raised at altitude, so it's been nice kind of getting back to the thin air and getting some good strength in.
What shoes we starting with?
Some Asics flats, Meta Speed Sky. Sorry, I don't know all the names all that well, but yeah, I'm in a trial phase, you know, as an unsponsored athlete at the moment. Don't have a shoe deal, so I just try a lot of things. So you'll see me wearing, you know, New Balance on my warm-up, Asics for the first few reps, and then throw on some Nike spikes. It's a beautiful world for a shoe nerd.
Do you think since going unsponsored, like being able to choose your own shoe has like helped your performance? Obviously, your last couple of races you performed pretty well.
I mean, I just think it's fun to just try things. There's a lot of good product out there, and obviously, like, the advantage is like you can pick what you like most. And so like right now I'm just trying to learn what I like, and I definitely think there's plenty of options out there that are really, really viable. And so I've kind of built up like a rotation right now, and the idea is just like, if I can get a shoe sponsor, I can make my decision based on like, oh, I've tried that and I actually really like that. So I can be really organic with like what my next move is with a title shoe sponsor. yeah, so it's been a fun period of time, and hopefully it doesn't last too much longer.
What's the total mileage of today's workout?
Probably be like a 9 to 10 mile day, depending on, you know, warm up, cool down, jogs between. It's not about the volume today. It's more about just turning the legs over, trying to keep the pop in the legs. So I don't have a ton of volume in the last several weeks, but that's by design. Just been trying to really feel fresh and poppy so that I can hit these sessions and feel like I have a lot to give come race day.
Feeling good, feeling excited. It's gonna be a tough one, but that's what you like to see.
First 6, and then you take the 4. Sire, you can take the 2.
If you want, I can take the 6 again.
Sure.
It's up to you. I do feel pretty good,
All right, yeah.
all things considered.
That's 8.
This is gonna be a tough
He
one.
is 400, 300.
The lactic. He's. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, 129, 130 up here. It's good, dude. For 6.
What spikes we putting on?
A little dragonfly action here.
Is that what you ran the mile in?
Yes, sir. Yeah. They're the only pair of spikes that I got that are fresh, so they're my go-to right now.
What about you, Caleb? What are we putting on?
Also some dragonflies. A new fresh pair for the track season.
Nice colorway.
Fresh colorway.
Thank you.
I'm gonna need the extra boost for this set.
You know, it's a hard workout when you feel bad for them when they're in the middle of the workout. You can feel the intensity out there. Crushing it though, you guys are doing great.
What are you wearing, Sarah?
Dragonflies as well.
All 3 dragonflies.
No. So seriously, though, I'm gonna make an adjustment. We are gonna do more, but talk to me about how you guys are feeling.
Like, there's no air.
Okay.
Where's oxygen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's to be assumed.
After like
Tell me.
106, after like 250, 300.
My legs are getting lead halfway through these reps.
Okay.
Just so much laughter.
4, 90 seconds, 3, and then we're gonna take as much rest as you need. Do it. Open up on 2, like a feel good. Open up on a 2, around like 28ish, and then we're gonna do like 100, just shy of all out. Okay.
Okay.
60. Here we go. Get up. Get up. First rep. Just started. There you go, Tiger. Nice, buddy. Caleb, stop at 3.
Gotta train the mind.
Yeah, dude, as we talked about, the mile hurts a lot different than the half marathon.
Yeah. I just gotta weather that like chunk of time where you're like,
Right.
I don't know if I can keep going.
Right, when you're on the ropes.
Yeah,
There's great practice for that, you know?
for sure.
Sometimes the difference is like just fighting off the ropes till you get 200 meters further down the track,
Yeah.
you know? And then you're like within a stone's throw of home and you can go.
Yeah.
All the way through.
200?
some dessert for you guys. Yeah.
One hard 2, one hard 1. The hard stuff's over. Just gotta focus on mechanics and speed.
Getting nice rhythm.
Not necessarily super fast. Just feel good.
Yeah. Another 2. Turnover rhythm. 28, 27, somewhere in there. Good, dude. Nice. Come on. All the way through, all the way through.
I'm not a sprinter. It's fun though.
You like speed work?
I do and I don't. I love the way it makes you feel, like after, but during, there's nothing quite this intense. You know, I can run half marathon pace any day of the week and feel so good. You get me running mile pace and faster, these workouts just get so intense. So, but I need it. I know that. So, good day. Work is done. Had some fun. I gotta rest now. I was proud of my 12.4 and you go run 11.7.
Good.
My lungs are hurting like they did after that mile.
Oh, that's just running this hard up here. I mean, my chest felt like my heart was gonna jump out of it after that third 6.
How long have you two been training together?
I guess since December now, so two months plus now.
Yeah.
A couple breaks in there with Christmas and us racing separate races and stuff, but yeah, it's been fun. We raced each other in college a lot. He was at Portland, I was at BYU, so it's kind of the fun part about post-collegiate running as old rivals become friends and stuff.
It's true. I hated him in college. he's all right now.
So, fun stuff. Plenty more of these types of workouts. We're racing this weekend together. It'll be a good experience.
What's the cool down now?
20 minutes of probably atrociously slow jogging.
And one spring I worked with like a guy on my mechanics a little bit. And so I
can
mean,
tell, dude. You watch a distance runner sprint, it's like this huge back kick, right?
So you
watch a sprinter, it's all here. Bang, bang, bang.
yeah.
Front side mechanics.
Yeah.
So that's what he was doing.
We've done drills with that, like hurdle drills, myrtle drills, where you jump over the, like run over the wickets.
Oh, yeah.
That's how you practice picking up your feet quick.
Yeah.
I've done
Or
that.
you just do super heavy lifting and you just do it naturally.
Yeah.
I never even practiced, and now I sprint like that, where I used to sprint like a distance runner way behind me. You know?
Yeah, loping stride, long
I'd like
back kick.
Work on the attack position and then kind of like this.
Nah, that looked really nice, dude.
This like extension, where it's more like a drag,
Reaching out.
and pulling versus.
Yep. Yeah, the workout went super well. It's really windy out here, so for a bit there, I wasn't even sure if we're gonna be able to like hit the times or get it all in. I might have to adjust it to something else. Sometimes I'll do that if it's super windy, just to change up the workout completely, but luckily we were able to sneak it in. Everyone looked really good. Rory had a really solid session. They're all coming out of racing, and yeah, super pleased with the day. So we got in 3 sets. That last set I kind of modified it. We did a 4, a 3, and then just finished it off with a couple sprints. I always love to finish with something really quick and work on some foot speed when the legs are a little bit tired. So super solid session. Now just taking it easy for the rest of the week. Getting ready for 3Ks later on Saturday.
So how has training with Rory been going? So his last 2 races, he's broke the Canadian record in the half, and he just ran 4:07, which is 3:58 conversion to sea level.
Yeah, Rory's just been crushing it. It's been super fun working with him. I'm finding, I gotta hold the reins on him. He loves to work hard. He loves to be aggressive, which is great, and I'm like that too. But as a coach, I'm also a little bit smarter than I was as an athlete, and I know kind of when to hold the reins. So I'm loving working with him, and it's fun to have like success right out of the gate like this. But really, we're just getting going. I'm really excited for his long-term potential, and I am looking at this as like a long-term partnership, and really excited to see what he can do in future half marathons, 3Ks, but also the marathon. Like, I think he can run a great marathon. I don't think he's been anywhere near what he's capable of, and it's going to take time to get there probably, but I'm really excited to cultivate that with him and be along on the journey with him.
Were you pleased with today's work?
Yeah, I would say like anytime I'm stepping down to the more intense zones, like 1500 mile 3K pace, it's always a struggle to recover in between reps, but I feel like I handled each rep one at a time and tried to stay focused on the task at hand, which is extremely hard when you can't breathe at 7,000 feet. But yeah, I mean, I checked the boxes today for sure.
Let's backtrack a little bit. Obviously, you're disappointed with your Boston Marathon finish. At what point did you kind of decide to do CIM with that being so close to Boston? Like, how did you prepare for that mentally and physically coming off of Boston?
So, not gonna lie, as soon as I crossed the finish line, I basically said to myself, that's not my season. That's not how this story ends for me. So I had thought about it within minutes. Then it was about actually talking to Ben Rosario at the time, getting him to approve that decision, because it seems irrational when you're making it from a place of emotion. But I've always been someone who follows their heart, and my heart told me you gotta run a good marathon this fall. You've put in too much work to end your season with a very disappointing marathon. You're fit, you're strong, you can do it. Just go out to CIM and just help Nick Hogger and run a good race. And that was the point, and that was the objective, and we met that objective, so it was fun.
And then you came back in January and you broke the Canadian record in the half at 61:08. How did that feel? Was that your plan going into the race, was to try to run that?
Yeah, actually, before CIM, it's kind of crazy. No one really knows this, but I knew I was actually focused on Houston, so I didn't even taper for a marathon, which is very unconventional. I ran 100 miles the week of CIM, and kind of just was like, this is a springboard to a half, which is a very unconventional way to do it, and I wouldn't recommend it necessarily. But with the way we were running the race and the way my body felt going into it, I knew hey, Houston's the end goal for this little block, and so I was press forward with the idea of being in record shape and see what happens.
Yes, it's running 2 marathons and a half in a 12-week span. It's pretty rare. What has your volume of your training looked like lately?
My volume has fluctuated quite a bit because you can only do so much coming off of those hard efforts. A marathon, you got to respect the distance and recover, but you also have to put in the work to callous the legs. Pre-Boston, it was pretty high. It was 118, 120, 115, floating around the 110 to 120 miles per week. But then after Boston, it was more 100 to 110. And then after CIM, it was more 90, 95, focusing on getting in the intensity for the half. And since the half, it's been even lower. So I've actually degressed my mileage as I've moved throughout this last several months. But that's because the focus has changed, right? Right now I'm trying to get ready for a track race. I don't need mileage. I've got strength in my legs from all the base I worked on this fall and earlier in the winter. So right now the focus is pop. And what's going to give me pop is focusing on rest and hitting workouts like this.
So why the change from road racing to the mile, now the 3K? Is this spring going to be more road racing or more on the track?
It's dependent on how this weekend goes, really. That'll dictate the next few moves. I'm more so just chasing what excites me, and I ran that half and I was pretty set, I'm gonna go run some road races and that's it, I'm fine. But then I watched Milrose games and I'm I kind of want to get out there and just see what shape I'm in and what I can run it in a track race. So it was basically last minute, ask Ryan, hey, can I run a track race just to have some fun? And he's yeah, if your expectations are just to see where you're at and you're fine with the chance that it doesn't go great, then yeah, let's just go after it. And that's the whole thing. And then the mile went pretty well, and these training sessions the last 2 weeks have felt pretty good at mile pace. So I'm actually feeling pretty confident that it can go pretty well this upcoming weekend.
So you've recently left Nas Elite. Was there a certain reason for that? And then how did you find and connect with Ryan Hall?
I left NAZ Elite just because I wanted to find like my swagger again. I kind of felt like I'd lost a little bit of race confidence, and to nobody's fault but my own, just it wasn't working for me. The workouts and the way I was feeling going into races, there was more uncertainty than you would care for. And I found Ryan just because I've always admired him as an athlete and as a person, just from following from afar. And so I knew I wanted a coach that was based in Flagstaff that could be here, present, coaching me through the workouts. And I knew I wanted someone who had a history of performance themselves so that they could guide me through my goals. And so I reached out and he was interested, and the rest is history.
What's the biggest perk of having Ryan as a coach? Like, what do you think is his strong suit for you that's really helped you these past couple races?
He tells me I can do something that I don't know if I can do, and then I just trust him, and then it's worked out every time. So before Houston, I got COVID a couple weeks before, and I was really nervous about the effects of that on my race, and he was assuring me that I was going to be fine. Sure enough, I was. Going into this mile, I was like, I don't know, like I've been running road races for a while, I don't know how fast I am anymore, and he just kept assuring me like, hey, you're in good shape, like you've done good work, I think you can do pretty well here. And it went well. So it's like every time he tells me I can do something, it's pretty much worked. So he's building a lot of rapport with me. Like when he tells me I can do something, I'm kind of obligated to believe him at this point.
So what's the plan for Saturday?
Hopefully take a jab at the world indoor standard and run at least a PB at the minimum. So it'll probably be paced somewhere in the 740 range, 745 range, and I just hope to be able to stick it till 800 to go and then just let the racer come out.
Yeah, that's a 3K in Louisville, right?
Yep.
So yeah, we've seen that you're wearing some Tracksmith gear here. Do you want to expand a little bit on that?
Yeah, so Tracksmith reached out to me after Houston. I've got some friends that have ran for Tracksmith. I've seen a lot of pros do it, and I kind of understood that the gig is just, hey, like sweet singlet, sweet gear, little obligations from the athletes. It's just like a nice support system that bridges you between sponsorships. And I talked to Nick Willis and Lou Serafini there, and they both were very supportive and wanted to get me in the kit, and I was like, hell yeah, let's do it. Like, I love what you guys are doing for the sport. I think it's pretty sweet stuff you guys are rocking, and so it was a no-brainer for me. So I'm just, repping their brand while I'm in the middle of contract talks with other companies. So and that's kind of their business model. They totally understand and support athletes in the interim of between two deals.
Yeah, that's awesome. And so you're a pro athlete, but you also work part-time, I think. So maybe expand on like what you do for work and what the company's about.
Yeah, so I obviously, leaving NAZ Elite, I knew I had to start making some income outside of just running. That was my full-time job for 2.5 years coming out of college, and luckily the opportunity came out of nowhere to join a company called Streamline Athletes, which is a college recruiting company that works with high school athletes and college coaches to connect them. And it's a data-driven company that has like a kind of like a social media profile. Athletes go in, create their profile, coaches, and can view this if they pay partnership with the Streamline. And I basically collect data from college coaches to help high school athletes understand which programs they would qualify for. And it's something that I'm really passionate about because, I was a high school athlete at one point that really wanted to run in college, and there's a lot of unknowns about college recruiting. And I think Streamline is doing a great job at bridging the gap of what's known and what's unknown, and helping create an advantageous system for both athletes and coaches. Coaches can find athletes, and athletes can find the right university for them, because I think all of us do this because we love it, and it's just really important that you get an opportunity at the next level if you have the ability. And the fact of the matter is, there's a ton of programs out there, and most people can probably find something for them. So there's going to be a link in this video for high school athletes interested in running in college, and I encourage you to check out Streamline Athletes. I'm really pumped about what they're doing for the sport, and it's a great opportunity to learn more and to hopefully run at the next level.
All right. You're on Strava?
Yeah, I'm on Strava, Instagram, Twitter. I'm on all that stuff.
We'll put it down low. Good luck on Saturday.
Thank you.